You've been coming to Davos for a number of years, and making the case for the philanthropy, particularly that you do, but also observing the way world leaders are dealing with the challenges they face. How does the world at the beginning of 2019 here at Davos, how does it seem to you this time, and how do the challenges seem to you this time compared with some of the previous years you've been here?
Well, I worry about U.S.-China relations. I worry about the UK.
We talk about a trade war. We're headed for something more serious than a trade war?
Well, you can have a situation where the rhetoric against each other kind of escalates, and the willingness to understand the other country gets tougher. People get entrenched, and you get a very zero-sum mentality where a lot of the things we do together, whether it's fight climate change, grow the economy, drive innovation, those are positive sum type things that we should do more of.
But you'd share the view, would you, that China maybe needs to do a bit more to be an upstanding member of the international trading community? That seems to be the pressure that's being put on them.
Well, China, in that realm, I think they're glad to have discussions. You can't get to the point where you say, hey, all Chinese equipment is bad, or the Chinese can't do new innovation. There are parts of the rhetoric that would be unreasonable. But yes, the idea that there are issues that they should step up on, I think, I'm hopeful that comes to a good conclusion.
Quickly on China, there's a lot of focus on technology and the progress that China's made in technology. You know a thing or two about technology. What's your sense? Is China overtaking the United States in key areas? People talk about artificial intelligence, other areas. Is China developing an advantage in some of those important fields?
Well, it's very hard, the way technology works now, to say that one country is at one level versus something else. These are not weapons that are done in a secret, private way. The best work in artificial intelligence is published by universities. U.S. universities are a strong part of that. So are Chinese universities, UK universities. And it's all done in open, where people are building on each other. And so, everyone's essentially at the same state of the art, and apply that to their different industries. The idea that you would try and draw a line and say, okay, half the world, let's all keep it secret from the other half of the world, in a civilian, academically driven technology like this, it's hard to see how that would ever work.
Finally, very briefly, taking all of this together, you more optimistic today than you were about all of these issues, about health, global health, the state of global international relations, the state of the world? Are you more optimistic, say, than you were 3 or 4 years ago, or less optimistic?
Yes, the advance in science, where we'll be able to make these new vaccines, even rich world diseases like Alzheimer's, obesity, that we will get things for those. I am more optimistic. However, the short-term headwinds, U.S., China, Brexit, domestic challenges, there's plenty to worry about. But through innovation, I do believe the toughest problems can be tackled.